Hey, good morning. This is Mastura Deborah Grenard here from Joyfully Living Wellness. This is our very first meeting of the community for conscious living. I'm so excited to be starting this and having you here. Welcome to you. Right, today's topic is within the barriers. Now, I started saying a minute ago that we come into these bodies, breathed into this physical form, knowing the truth of who we are, the truth of our existence. We are born into physical form. There we go. All right. We're born into physical form. That umbilical cord is cut. We are now experiencing ourselves as separate. And in our separateness, we think of ourselves as independent and powerful and unique and all of these things that in a big way is true. It is true. Yet when we think of ourselves as separate, we develop this little bit of an egocentric viewpoint on how all of this manifests and where it comes from. And I mean, sometimes thinking it's from us, but it's more to it than just thinking it's from us. It's more of about thinking of ourselves as that center focus, which is really kind of hard not to do because, the only eyes we have to look through are our own. The only ears we have to hear through are our own. Our only hearts we have to feel through are our own. And so it's not anything wrong or bad about that, but we're when we can travel through this doorway of the heart, of the spiritual heart, to access that vast universe, we understand ourselves as more than just us. We understand the existence as more than even about humanity. And but when we forget and we're looking for that love, we're looking for that peace, we're looking for that safety and that beauty all over the human existence here, or this physical existence, we begin to take on viewpoints, meanings, and information. You could think of it as we're like computers and we're taking in data because we're hardwired for survival. So we're going to find a way to survive on this journey. I had this little girl that I worked with a few years ago now. She was 6 years old at the time. And she told this story. She's a girl, and I've actually met other kids since then who actually remember being in the womb. There's this beautiful generation that's coming in that has these beautiful memories. But she remembered being in the womb. And she was telling her mom that she liked being in the womb because when she was in the womb, she could go back and ask questions. Like if you get scared, you can go and ask questions. And her mom said, "Really? You got scared? What happened?" And she says, "Well, Mom, you get to see everything." And she said, "Well, they show you a movie of your whole life before you come here." And Mom said, "Really? It's scary? Well, if you don't like it, can you change it?" She says, "No, Mom, it's not like that. You see, God has it all worked out, and you have to come here because you have to learn things like lessons, and you can't change that." And she said, "Oh, well, do you remember the movie?" And she said, and this is priceless, "No, Mom, that would be like going on a treasure hunt when you already know the treasure. That would be like going on a treasure hunt when you already know the treasure." So here we are in these physical beings thinking, and once this umbilical cord gets cut, that we are separate. And we're experiencing the world through our human senses, and we're feeling through our human emotional heart. And we're still on the deepest level, knowing the truth of our existence. We know what love is. We know what safety is. We know what truth is, and we're seeking it everywhere. We're hardwired for survival, but as we see things that don't measure up with what we know to be safe and true and love, then we're taking on information. okay, what just happened? Right? We're taking on what information, what just happened there? Okay, I need to know this to survive. You know, there's something there that didn't match what I know, but I'm on a treasure hunt here. I'm on a new journey. So I need to take that information in. And we take that information in and we store it, not just in the mind, but in all of the physical body, in the tissues. So we store information everywhere. And a lot of it gets put into these organs in the abdominal cavity, right? And in our connective tissue. And all kinds of fun things can happen there. I mean, I have whole courses about working with that. That's why a lot of my courses have worked with all of the digestive organs and things like that, because I think a lot gets stored from our traumas and our perceptions, negative perceptions about what's happening in the world, all of our negative memories, all that stuff gets stored in the gut. And we wonder why we have so many digestive disorders, right? So I have whole courses around that. But when this stuff gets stored in the body, it's like, then the heart is really the kind of like that truth meter, because when the heart senses something that it knows is aligned with that love and truth and safety that it knows at the depths, it expands and it opens and it's drawn toward it. But when the heart experiences something that's not, it contracts. And we feel that thing that's called an emotion that can sometimes be uncomfortable. And as human beings, we've been taught that it's not okay to have emotions, that it means you're out of control, or you're going to become out of control, or you're going to become unsafe, you're weak, you're dare we say, too feminine. But it's a lot of negative connotations with being emotional. But there's a difference between being emotional and feeling, allowing yourselves to feel the emotions. When we allow ourselves to feel the emotions, they can move through us just like waves on the ocean, right? When the waves of the ocean roll onto the shore, then it's like they can have their full range of motion, and then they're drawn back into the depths of the ocean, and our drops are drawn back into the depths of the ocean. So we have this fullness of the experience, right? But when we try to, our tendency is to try to like stop the emotions because, oh, wait, we're not supposed to have those. That's not safe. And they're not uncomfortable. And they make us somehow bad and wrong, or we're going to get in trouble, or something like that. So we try to stifle them. And that's like trying to stop the waves of the ocean from rolling onto the shore. And can you imagine trying to stop the waves of the ocean from rolling onto the shore? Eventually, that water is going to build and build and build, and it's going to just topple you right over. And that's when the emotions really can become dangerous for us, right? Because number one, holding that inside takes a heck of a lot of energy, takes a heck of a lot of your strength. And when it builds and builds and builds, then you're just, you can have that time of just erupting. And that's not fun for you. It's not fun for anybody around you. And that's where emotions get a bad rap. But when we can breathe through them and allow ourselves to feel them, they will go back to the depths of that ocean. They'll be returned to where that deepest truth, that knowing of love and peace and truth and safety and beauty lives through here. So one of the myths about healing is that the mind has the power to heal. But so let's talk about what happens then. We're just briefly here. What happens when you take in information, you store pictures and, kind of like the pre-verbal stuff. When something happens, you store pictures and all of the perceptions and the energies of that event into your physical tissues, your organs and your connective tissue. Your heart constricts and you've got an emotion, a feeling associated with that storage of information. And then the mind is your protector. So your mind says, okay, I got this. I'm going to get us through. I'm the hardwired for safety and survival on this journey of perceived separateness. And so I've got this. Here's what we're going to do. Next time any of this gets triggered, right? If any of this memory gets triggered, these emotions get triggered, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put this defense mechanism in place. We're going to put this coping strategy in place. We're going to, we're going to, so like we take on these beliefs and these strategies for survival. So when we think that we can heal through the mind, all the mind can do is basically trade up on its belief patterns and safety mechanisms, but the mind doesn't know the truth, because the truth really lives inside the heart. The heart is what knew whether to expand or contract. The heart is that portal through which you can travel to return to that truth of the existence that knows what unconditional love is, knows what safety is, knows what truth is, knows that connection, knows the truth of this journey you're on. So you can experience this journey on a conscious level with the knowing and connection to that truth, that divine truth. So what we are going to be working with is kind of the premise, the basis for the work that we're going to do. The meditations are all designed to help us to wash away the energies, the barriers, the belief patterns, the coping strategies. I mean, the coping strategies and the defense mechanisms and the belief patterns, they're all there for a good reason. But when we can really wash and purify all of the things that we've taken on in the body and that cover over the heart, because they form layers over the heart. And they, as the poet Rumi says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all of the barriers that you have built against it. All of these barriers cover over the heart. And what we were going to do with our practices in these meditations is to wash the heart so that we're releasing those barriers so that we can return to live in the existence of what lies within those barriers. And that's today's topic, within the barriers. So the body takes in the energies, the imprints, the perceptions of the events in this material world, which is this world of duality or multiplicity, where we perceive ourselves as separate from that unity, that existence of unconditional love, where there is only one and everything is from that love. The heart constricts or expands depending on whether we're removed from love or perceive ourselves as separate from love or close to love. Right? The heart is a portal and it has a doorway. It opens and and closes. The mind carries your defense mechanisms, your coping strategies, your belief patterns that are geared to help you to survive in this world. So I just want to make an invocation. An invocation. In the name of the one, the most merciful, the ever compassionate, calling on that essence of that pre-existent being, that ocean from which all of our drops are spawned, that expresses itself through each and every one of our drops. And I want to invite you to get ready for meditation now. I'm going to check all of our different little forms of communication here and make sure we're still going as we're supposed to be. All right, we're still good. Okay. So let yourself be in a comfortable space as much as possible, free from the distractions. And a place where, if you can, close your eyes. Anything you need to pick up after this, you could even make a note of it. Sometimes when I have a lot going on, a lot to think about, I'll just make notes about it and then set it on the piece of paper off to the side because I know I can pick it up when I get back. But for now, it's calling on the essence of the One, the name of the One, the most merciful, the ever compassionate, calling on the essence of unconditional love, calling on the essence of divine compassion, calling on the essence of divine light, this eternal life force energy that moves through each of us like electricity, giving life to all of us and giving expression to all of this existence that we live in. And let's just take a few full and gentle breaths, if you can, from whatever space you're in. Just let the space just have some physical expansion, opening the heart center and breathing into the heart center and just calling on that essence of unconditional love, divine light, and compassion. Let this essence come in to surround all of your being. And feel this just wash over you like a nice, cool cloud enveloping you and holding you. This essence of unconditional love, this presence of divine compassion, the eternal compassion. And let yourself rest in this cloud. This is a happy cloud. And it becomes the air that you breathe. This vibration infuses into all of the space around you, becoming the air that you breathe. So as you breathe, you are breathing into your heart center, into your lungs, and surrounding your heart, breathing in this essence of unconditional love and eternal compassion. And as you exhale, just let this heart center become soft and relax into this essence. And as you inhale, draw in this essence of unconditional love and eternal compassion. And as you exhale, again, just relax, release, let your heart center become soft. And let it relax in your own body. Just come to rest in your own body. Breathing in divine light. Breathing in unconditional love. Breathing in the eternal compassion of the One. And exhaling, relax and release, and letting yourself just drop in deeper. Bring more relaxation to this heart center, all of your chest space. And again, inhaling in that essence of divine light and unconditional love. Exhaling, relaxing, releasing, letting your heart be soft, dropping in even deeper, even deeper, even deeper into your heart center. Now move your breath, let your breath move through your heart center all the way down into your belly, and let your belly become full with your breath as you inhale, drawing in that essence of divine light, of unconditional love, and eternal compassion. And then as you exhale, letting all of the space in your belly, your diaphragm, your heart, all become soft. And take a minute and just wiggle your toes and stretch out your feet. And feel your presence all the way into your physical body, really coming into your custom-made vehicle, dropping all the way in to be present in your physical body, taking a seat in this custom-made vehicle. It's really going clunk right into your own pelvis, your own pelvic floor, and letting your energy move all the way through your feet, grounding you into the earth. Moving you and breathing you through your physical form. And again, inhaling, drawing in this essence of divine light, of unconditional love, of eternal compassion. Breathing this into your heart center and down into all of your body. I'm going to invite every cell of your being. Every cell of your being has consciousness, carries consciousness, just as we mentioned, everything carries pictures and beliefs, imprints. So I'm inviting all of the cells of your body, which do carry consciousness, to turn their witnessing to this vibration of divine light, of unconditional love, of eternal compassion, and inviting each one to breathe in this essence, to open and receive this vibration of unconditional love, of divine compassion, divine light, and drinking this into every cell of your being. Letting every cell take this in, letting this circulate throughout all of your body with all of your life force. Your life force moves like electricity through every cell of your being, through all of your nervous system. Let this electric impulses that move through you be the impulses, the vibration of divine light, of unconditional love, and eternal compassion. And let's turn our focus back to this heart center. As long as we're in human form, our heart center has barriers. As Rumi said, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all of the barriers that you have built against it. And so let's just take a moment and be present with the barriers. We don't want to stop with the barriers, but let's be present with the barriers. If you notice any of these places where you might feel some protective energy around your heart center, might be one part of the heart that feels like it's not open and not taking in this love completely. So let's be present with that for a minute. These are usually covering over places in the heart that at some point have felt separate from love, have felt like they're not safe, or felt maybe misunderstood, or not seen or not heard, not valued. All of these things can live right here in the heart. So let's just be present. We don't have to know what the barriers are about, but you can feel it. Typically, you feel a little bit of a block. It shows up in some way. Let's just be present with that and continue to breathe in that essence of unconditional love, of divine light, of eternal compassion. Just breathing that vibration and letting this breath just settle in to the space around your heart. And this barrier that you may feel, it doesn't really keep you from love. It exists even within the space of unconditional love. That's one of the illusions that we live in. We protect ourselves somehow, and yet we're never separate. There is no separation. There's nothing that holds us as separate. So let that essence just surround and hold this place. And in this moment, we don't want to try to change anything about that barrier. We're not here to fix in this moment, but just allow this barrier to know that it still exists within an ocean of unconditional love and divine light. So as you are present with this barrier in your heart that you may feel, just let it, give it permission to be. Know that it's okay. It's part of being human, and it's perfectly normal. It's okay to be there. So give it permission to exist and allow it to rest in this ocean of divine love, of eternal compassion, and of divine light. And continue to breathe this essence right into your heart. And if you don't feel barriers, that's okay. Just breathe this essence deeper and deeper into your heart. And as you exhale, just let your heart center relax. You can release anything that is ready to be released. And allow that vibration to move you even deeper and deeper into your heart center. Inhaling in that essence of divine light of unconditional love, of eternal compassion. And exhaling, just allowing yourself to travel in deeper and come to rest in this ocean, this vibration of unconditional love. And continue with this breath. Again, just letting any of those barriers or blocks just relax into the ocean as well, giving them complete permission to be present and to be seen, to be witnessed, to be known. Each of these barriers has come to you as a service to keep you safe, a service to help you to navigate this earth journey as best you can. A service to help you to know love as best you can while in this world. And for that, we can be grateful. We can be truly grateful for that service. So if you feel moved, let yourself feel the gratitude that these barriers offer to you. And again, allow them to rest. Allow them to be known, to be understood, to be appreciated, to be seen, heard. And again, you don't have to understand them with the mind, just knowing why they're there, knowing that they're there, and not fighting them, just giving them permission to be and to rest into this ocean of divine love, eternal compassion, divine light. And if it comes to you to make any special intention for yourself or prayer for yourself or from your own heart, from the depths of whatever may be moving in your heart, just take a moment and make that prayer or that intention now. If it feels right for you, let your heart just move to face the source, this pre-existent being. And this is through intention, because there's no place that it exists or doesn't exist. The best access point is through this deepest part of your heart. So from this deepest part of your heart, let your heart, the feeling in your heart, make that prayer for you, intending to make it directly to that source, with that source. And of course, you can end your prayer your intention with gratitude, knowing that the heart moves us toward what we're called to. So be in gratitude for what you've been called to, and continuing to breathe in that essence and let it move throughout all of your being. Now, this is a meditation that actually takes you into a space that you can move from and live from in this world. So I want to invite one more time each and every cell of your being to take in this essence of unconditional love, of divine light and eternal compassion. Take in this knowing on a conscious level. Return this, your consciousness, your conscious knowing to this state of existence. It's something that you've known all along, and sometimes it stays a little hidden. So let it really be anchored in your consciousness. This divine light, unconditional love, eternal compassion. And as you open your eyes, and as we wrap up this meditation, I invite you to carry this consciousness, this knowing, into every aspect of your life, into all of your being, and into your presence with your own heart, those places of self-judgment, those places of, those self-talks that sometimes aren't self-praising. Just know the truth of who you are and what you carry inside is divine existence. And it is worthy of love and honor and respect in every way, shape, and form. So watch the self-talk. And again, complete and total acceptance for whatever moves through you. But remember this state of consciousness, and return, and return, and return, and return. So take a minute, wiggle your toes, plant your feet on the ground. Let this vibration move through you. Anchor you into your physical existence so that you can, as Gandhi says, be the change you want to see in the world, you wish to see in the world. And that's being this essence, a pure reflection, manifestation, and expression of this divine essence. Because the truth of who you are is a reflection of divine light, a manifestation of divine beauty, and an expression of unconditional love. This is the truth of who and what we are, each and every one of us. So I invite you to move forward this week with that knowing, with carrying this vibration, letting it move through you, letting it fill you, letting it wash you, letting it vibrate and emanate from you as you move through your life this week. And at any time you can return back to listen to this video or audio. I have them both posted on the website and in the Facebook group. So you can return to listen to it at any time. And you can refresh this for yourself. because our world is designed to take us away from this state and this conscious experience of our true light and our true divinity. So return and return and return and return and return as often as you can. And eventually, this becomes a stronger state of knowing than the state of separation. So again, I thank you for being here today. And I hope that you'll join us in the Facebook group. The Facebook group is called Community for Conscious Living. You can get all of the information as far as where everything is at joyfullylivingwellness.com/the-community. I'll say that again, joyfullylivingwellness.com/the-community. You'll find links there for this video, for the audio, for the Facebook group. So please meet us in any of these places and reserve this same time for next week. We'll be back with another discussion and meditation. And I'm going to just check into the Facebook group now and see if there's any discussion we want to have there. I hope you'll meet us there and we can chat for a bit before we go on about our day. One other thing I wanted to tell you about, there is a PDF that's available there. If you go down to the bottom of that webpage, there is a link where you can sign up to download that PDF. It's the 10 Foundational Principles of Spiritual Healing. It's also available through the Facebook group. You can get it there in the files section. So either one of those ways, please grab a copy of that document. It's just a one sheet that you can post up on your wall to remind you of the truth of your existence, who you are, why you're here, and what you're here to do and to be. With that, I bid you a wonderful week, and I thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to knowing you more. Thanks.